Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be going over what if you can battle people worldwide without even being friends with them at a specific location, as well as trading with them without them being on your friends list. These are things we're going to be going over, as well as the new version of Pokemon Go, revealing more information regarding Glaceon, Leafeon, Magnezone, as well as Probopass. Let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, we're over here on Trails' Twitter. Let's go ahead and see what we have in the new Pokemon Go update, which is not currently out yet, well, at least not for me. So we have new quests: win a PvP combat, alright? Win an NPC combat, go to some location, alright? Walk X amount of kilometers. Okay, now for the juicy stuff, lure items. So we have item Troy Disc Glacial, which we know is going to be for Glaceon. Item Troy Disc Mossy, which we know is going to be for Leafeon. And then item Troy Disc Magnetic, which is going to be for Magnezone and Probopass. All right, so we've been over all of the theories that I have how it's going to work possibly. So let's continue on here. EV evolution conditions. So this is some pretty good stuff here with lure item. All right, so we knew it's going to take the lure. Only day, only night. Now that's going to be for Espeon and Umbreon, right? Okay, and then moving on here, we have Eevee. New check name trick is already used. So that is going to indicate that you're going to have already used the name trick for that specific Pokemon. And I'm going to assume when we do get Leafeon and Glaceon in Pokemon Go, we're going to be able to use the name trick. Now, are you going to be able to use the name trick for Leafeon and Glaceon without the lure modules, the new ones? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, but it is very interesting. So there's that. And then we have Tyrogue, new trick choice. So depending upon which evolution it's going to stem off into, depending on HP, defense, or attack, it will go into either one of those evolutions. But it looks like we're going to be able to choose to some degree. I don't know, but that is in the options here. So other text found. This is very, I'm still trying to figure this out. I am a sleeping Snorlax, new encounter on map. So seeing that in Pokemon Go, you can basically walk anywhere. There is no objects to obscure you or stop you unless they're in the real world. Otherwise, you can just walk through anything and go anywhere within the Pokemon Go map. Now, are we going to see specific routes where you're going to have to use possibly a Pokeflute to get through because of a sleeping Snorlax? That's very far-fetched. So I'm not going to really lean towards more of that. Just who knows, right? But just see, I am a sleeping Snorlax. I was also thinking maybe it's like a mode that you could put on, but at this point you can't even see if somebody is online or not, which we highly need that for PvP, as well as somebody who's potentially ready for PvP. We're going to be getting more into that here in just a moment. So you have that. I don't want to get too much into the I am a sleeping Snorlax because who knows what it is at this point. And then moving over to the rest of the text over here, that's going to be for GoFest, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to get a badge, and there you go. So there we have it for regarding the new update and the information that is within there. We are going to be getting Leafeon, Glaceon, Magnezone, and Probopass. I would think at least Leafeon and Glaceon at some point, and probably Magnezone. I don't know how long they're going to, push these off. But it's looking like the next update, we're going to be able to get the rest of these Gen 4 Pokemon regarding these types at least, not all of them, because where's Gible? They're really holding out on Garchomp. Why is, I mean, I know it's a fan favorite. I know it's a very treasured Pokemon. It's really cool looking, but why? Why so long, right? Okay, now let's discuss PvP first, and then we're going to get into some more details and thoughts that I have that we can maybe see in the future. Seeing that I was pretty spot on with the whole PvP and the different leagues, I'm willing to take another guess and see we may possibly get something like this in the future. So one of the things is, if you're a person who likes to PvP, the biggest trouble is trying to find somebody who wants to actually battle you and knowing who is available to battle you currently. So what we need very basically is the little green dot next to them, or some sort of indication saying that they're battle ready. People are making their Pokemon say PvP on or off or something like that. And that is fantastic. That works. But sometimes they forget and they leave it on and they're not ready and they're just not there. So if we could have that little dot next to them, that would just be just great, right? Most everybody wants to battle people worldwide, some sort of matchmaking. And I would absolutely love that as well. Kind of like the main series game. But the argument from the people who are saying that that doesn't really work for Pokemon Go is the fact that Niantic wants you to get out and go or interact with people and have some sort of communication going on, not just sitting in your living room or wherever you're at and just continuously battle people that you don't even know. Okay, but then I thought to myself, what can we do to make it so you can actually battle people but still have to get out there and go to some degree? And I was thinking, okay, well, what if we could have some sort of gym or area on the map in which we go to and we can go into random matchmaking? That should serve pretty well. But then I was thinking, okay, well, people are going to be flooding the specific area at all times of the day, including at night, and it could cause problems for a business and or cops having to continuously come by to see what in the world is going on and why all these people are sitting here at 2 to 3 in the morning. So if you did not know this by now as well, you have gyms as well as Pokestops that have timers, which you cannot battle or spin the Pokestop during a specific time of day. Mostly at night is when these things are occurring. Personally, here in Anchorage, I only know of one gym that will not let you battle it during certain times. I don't know about Pokestops here, but I'm sure some of you have seen that in your area. Maybe, maybe not. So what they can do is shut down this gym arena where you're going to have to go to get your random matchmaking for people you don't even know, and you just have to come back during a specific time of day once it's open back up. Now, how will this all work when you're going up against random people? Well, if you've ever played any sort of game that requires random matchmaking, pretty much all games that are online, you simply battle random people. You search for somebody within your league. You have to be within a specific league, obviously Great, Ultra, or Master, but your certain win ratio will determine your matchup for that other trainer. Now, here is another trick too. Now, if we go down here and look at our badges, you're going to have gold badge in all of them. Well, not all of them to participate in whatever specific one. So I have gold in the Great as well as the Ultra, but I do not have gold in Master. So if I did go to this gym and I wanted to battle somebody in Master League for random matchmaking, I couldn't do so until I reached 200. Now, this can be a horrible problem and the biggest flaw within my idea here, because what if you have nobody to battle with in the first place? What if you can't even get to 200? Well, maybe we can scrap that whole idea and simply let you matchmaking with random people. You just have to get to at least silver or bronze, and you're gonna have to make that effort, I suppose, to find those random people that you probably may or may not have in your area to battle to finally get to that goal there. But I'm just trying to make it sensible here, okay? Because I understand Niantic does not want us to just go off and battle random people at will, right? They want us to communicate and have some sort of communication with other people that we know to some degree. That's why you have to have a certain level of friendship before you can battle them at a longer distance, right? So that's my idea. That's my thoughts on that. Tell me what you think. I've been over the whole gym battles and how gym leaders should work. And then we get kind of an invite, sort of like the EX raids, to this arena that would be on the map. We all show up there at a certain time and battle it out. You get matched up. It's almost like the Silt Arena has kind of provided that whole idea to some degree, but it would be within Niantic's game, Pokemon Go. So what do you guys think? Is that something you would like to see? Personally, for me, I would love that, to go to this place and battle random people. As much as I love battling all of my friends, it would be amazing to battle people that I've never went up against before and test my skills against those kind of types of people that are out pursuing continuous battles as well. So just a bit of an idea that I came up with for PvP random matchmaking online. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about gym leaders and how I think it should work if we were to possibly get this. Now, I did make a video about this several months ago discussing very in-depth on how I thought it should work, but I'm going to go over it very briefly here. So basically, you go up against the first one that would pop up in a kind of gym, similar to the raids at the current moment, and they would have a timer in which they would spawn and then despawn. You'd go and beat them. Depending upon, I don't know, maybe it would have a very tough, just one raid boss Pokemon, or maybe it would be like a PvP style, except a lot more advanced than what we currently have for trading, because the trading is quite a joke. That's okay though, I'm just saying. So it would kind of work like that. So once you beat the first gym leader, you would be able to collect that badge and then see the next one in line, and then it would just pop up at random, right? And then once you collected them all, you would go on to the Pokemon League. And then, of course, like I said, once you collected all those, then the Pokemon League will start spawning on there. I would assume it would start with Kanto, but at this point, this is all in complete concept and just random thoughts here. Niantic hasn't hinted towards any sort of gym leaders or anything like that, so don't expect it. This is just me coming up with ideas over here. So yes, the Pokemon Elite Four will start spawning, and they would be extremely difficult. Now, I'm still deciding whether or not I would like to see them use one specific type of Pokemon. So we would see Lance using possibly a Dragonite. That would be extremely hard. Obviously not a tier 4, because we already know you have to have specific weather and have like a mock kind of duo going on, and to do it by yourself. So something else, possibly PvP style, but it's going to have to be difficult. And then you would finally go on to fight the master, right? The champion, which would be Gary. And then after you beat Gary, which would be extremely hard to do, you would get maybe an email linked to your account and telling you that you would be getting an invite. Maybe even just an in-game invitation, kind of like the EX raids like we were discussing, right? And you would go to this specific gym that we were talking about for the matchmaking. That's where that would be held at a specific time, and you would meet up with all these other trainers and battle it out and see who became the winner. You wouldn't even need a host, because everything would be automatic. Wouldn't that be amazing? If there was lag, or if there was some sort of technical issues, I can see that becoming a problem. Oh, the match wasn't fair. Oh, there was lag, or this or that. And I'm not saying people are making excuses, because personally, I know firsthand that that can be one of the biggest problems. You're going to have to redo the match. Maybe there would be some sort of confirmation. Two of the trainers can agree, okay, let's hit rematch, and we'll do it over because yes, that wasn't fair, or something like that. So that could possibly cure out any sort of problems without having an actual host there to host the event, right? All right, so there are my thoughts, trainers, on how I think this would work. As far as the final showdown where you get the invitation and people show up to this arena supposedly on the map, I could see people arguing and possibly getting into, I wouldn't say fights, but just arguments over this or that, seeing that there is no host to oversee what's actually happening and things like that. But who knows, it would be a fun idea, I guess, right? I wanted to talk about other things as well, as like Pokestops or global trade centers as well, because as it is now, we have to trade with people that are face-to-face. Doesn't matter what friendship level you're at, you have to be within a certain distance with them. So really briefly, I suppose I could talk about this here, is the Global Trade Center. If you play the main series games, you put in a Pokemon, you request something else, and you just leave it there. It could take, 30 seconds, or it could take a longer time than that. You just have to come back and see, and then when you get back online, that Pokemon you requested, if somebody accepted that trade, would give it to you. There was a lot of cheating involved in that, a lot of like Pokemon that were just made with the, what do you call them, Game Sharks, right? And yeah, that was an issue, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. People maybe that are spoofing, grabbing Pokemon from specific areas and then giving you those, I could see that being an issue, but I wouldn't really worry about it too much. But the whole idea, focus here, is that you would be able to request a Pokemon that you would want and trade with somebody else. That would be a fun idea, as well as breeding being introduced into the game. That would help you obtain legacy moves, transferring legacy moves within a specific Pokemon to a newer Pokemon that you would hatch. So you get a male and a female. Specific IVs would be transferred as well, so you can pretty much cure and mold a Pokemon that you want. So even maybe mix and matching legacy moves, wouldn't that be something? I could see things getting a little cheap, a little bit abused on the system for PvP. Once you did that, obviously those Pokemon would have to be able to learn that move. I don't know. It's just thoughts here. Just throwing out random ideas. As far as a Poke Center, I mean, you heal your Pokemon, I suppose. I personally don't really need potions all too often. I usually have plenty of those, but that's just me. I know there's people out there who are dying for those, need revives and things like that, so you can just go and heal your Pokemon. But I don't think that's too big of an issue. I think those other features I was talking about would be first and foremost. Anyways, with that said, trainers, hope you like my ideas. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will be catching you all next time. Take care. And one more thing, I cannot take full credit for the breeding as well as the Poke Centers, because we've all been basically talking about this for some time now, although I will have to take a little bit of credit for the whole gym leaders as well as the Elite Four, and then the invites to possibly battle other trainers, because I didn't really see anybody talking about that several months ago. Anyways, thought I threw this in here before I got Primate done.